We share. Oh, take a ride with me.
My name is LINUS Tachio. I was born on the 28th May 1974. But my father's name was Stephen Aleticho. Now he's late. My mother's name is Christiana Bia Tachio. Her maiden name is Bia. And I grew up under their care as a Catholic. And gradually, I came up to be knowing my parents to be loving and caring. They trained me. To the best of my knowledge, they did well. It's now that I begin to appreciate, now that they are not around, over 20 years now, I begin to appreciate what my father did to me. And my siblings also said the same thing. So it was across board. It wasn't that he was selective. We appreciated him for so many things. I learned poems from him. I write poems. He didn't teach me per se, but when he recited poems, Julius Caesar's, he recited statements from Julius Caesar and many other poems. I was young, I was amazed, so I started getting interested in poems, I think, from him. He was supposed to be a reverend father, but his mother disagreed because he was the only son, her only son, and she wouldn't like her son to become celibate. She doesn't like her son to be a reverend father where he's not married, and at the end of the day, she's not having grandchildren. She's having daughters, but the place of our African culture has given the man a special place that he continued to propagate the family. So she didn't want him to be a reverend father, and she insisted, and he agreed. So when he agreed, that's how he got married to my mother. And she also went to a Christian school, and up to now I see her classmates, and during those days, old, she's also late. So I learned a lot from them. We learned about some Christian basics, church, love for people, faithfulness. I learned from them in practical terms. I wouldn't say they are perfect, but at least you have practical example, not theoretical example, about so many things. So along the line, we grew up under them. I went to my JSS. I went to primary school. I went to JSS. And I did my primary school in Kaduna Capital School, Malali, Kaduna, Nigeria. I went to my junior secondary school in Kaduna Teachers College, Kao, in Kaduna, Nigeria. I also did my senior secondary school in Science Secondary School, Ikara. Ikara is a local government in Kaduna, Nigeria. So all along, it has been Kaduna, all along. So along the line, I felt I've enjoyed Kaduna enough. So when I was filling the form for the university, that's Joint Admission Matriculation Board, JAM, I said that I was looking for a school that is outside Kaduna. There are good schools, universities in Kaduna, Ahmadu Bello University, and I think it was one of the premier schools in universities in Nigeria. So I would have chosen, but I don't want so much of Kaduna. I wanted something a little bit different. So since I've made up my mind to go for engineering, and I chose chemical engineering, I looked at the brochure, and the brochure says FUT Mina is going to give me the best choice for me. Within my location, it is going to be, I would have gone further, but my parents would love me to be around. So I chose FUT Mina, and I got what I chose. There was no struggle. But there was something in me. I had always wanted to be a soldier man. I have always loved the toughness of the life of a soldier, orderliness, smartness of a soldier. Why? Because my uncle was a soldier, and when we go to barracks to visit him, we saw orderliness, we saw smartness, we saw respect for authority. So you don't do things anyhow. So I love the military. Whenever we go to the barracks, we go to the house, we greet them in the house. The moment that we dropped, I go out into the barracks to see what is happening in the barracks. I see parades, I see sports. I go to their mess where the band are rehearsing. Just like the military life then. So I wanted to be a military man. So I was hoping that I will pick a form and apply for Nigerian Defense Academy. So I have three things in mind. I wanted to go to university and study engineering. I wanted to be a military man. And I also had the desire to be a Reverend Father because at that time I was a Catholic. So I had these things in mind, but one thing is certain: I love God. I love God. As the desire for God, I gave my life to Christ in 1986. That was when I was about 12 years of age. I gave my life to Christ. What happened is that in the church, there was a program. We have a children program called Children of Peace. So during the Children of Peace program, a minister was called to come and speak to us, the children. So we had the normal program, drama, dance, and other things. Then he came to preach. When he was preaching, a voice was speaking to me from inside of me. I was watching the man, and the voice was speaking to me from inside of me. And I was having a strange peace of mind that because I'm not used to it, I became afraid. I got up, I went to the toilet while the preaching was still going on. Voice was telling me I should listen to what the man is saying. So I went back, I sat down, I was listening. And he said, everybody needs to give his life to Jesus. I'm not used to this thing. So he made an altar call. Some children came out. I refused to go out because I don't understand this thing. What's this all about? It's strange to me. So I didn't go. But when I went back home that day, I said, it's like I'm hearing God. I said to myself, it's like God is speaking to me. Then I prayed the same prayer the man prayed for them in church. I prayed for them. I prayed that prayer myself in the room. Then I had peace of mind. I discovered something thereafter. I began to love reading the Bible. And questions will come up about faith. Questions will come up about life. And when I speak to God, I open the Bible, I see the answers there in my eyes. I'll just ask God, God, do you really exist? I want to know, do you really exist? Is there God? I was just talking to him. If you are God, if there is God and you are God, speak to me and tell me something. And I open the Bible, I see my answers just before my eyes. Then I said, okay, I believe there is God. And then why are people suffering? Why are people killing themselves? Why are people dying? Why are people hungry? Why? If you are God, why can't you just make things happen? So gradually, I begin to build my relationship with God. I begin to understand that God wants me to cooperate with Him, that things don't just happen. He doesn't impose Himself. So I grew up in the faith, but I did not really know at that time that what happened to me was called born again. I didn't know. So if they say, are you born again? I say, I believe I am. When were you born again? I say, I don't need to know when, but I know I am born again. I don't know, but I just know I am born again. There's a peace of mind within me. Then I couldn't give a date of my being born again. But gradually, it happens that I finished my secondary school. I wrote Nigerian Defense Academy. I wrote JAM, and the university admission, the marks needed for me to gain admission, minimum was 200 at that time. So I got 209. And my WAEC, there was no problem. So it was automatic admission for me. There was no another exam after that exam. Nowadays, we have what we call post-JAM. But then we don't have post-JAM. Once you meet up the basic criteria, you are given. If the number required is too much, if they need 100 students and they have 200, they'll find another alternative way of reducing. So I met up everything. There was no need for me to be screened out. I went to university, but my mind was still in going to the army. So while I was in the university, I wasn't taking the university serious because I was hoping to write NDA exam, Nigerian Defense Academy exam, and go to university and go to Nigerian Defense Academy and become a military personnel. So, but it wasn't coming. I failed the exam. In fact, the second one, I was so sure of myself. I said, wow, this exam is the best so far in my life. I'm going to get good grades. I'm going to get admission. So after the exam, about 2 days later or thereabout, my father called me. I think he brought the letter and said, "Linus, I have a letter from Nigerian Defense Academy for you. They want to see you." So I read the letter that they want to see me urgently. So I said, wow, at last I've made it. So when I went to Nigerian Defense Academy, they told me to sit down, wait. I waited, and they asked me, where did I buy my own form? I told them exactly where I bought the form. They said I should explain how I bought the form. I explained to them. I came. We were many. There was no form that day. We were staying, waiting for forms to be brought. And when they brought form, everybody was rushing to pick his own. So they asked us to form line. We formed line, and the moment you pay, you collect your form, you go. Pay, you collect your form, you go. Then they said, did we write our names? I said, no, I didn't write any name. We just paid, collect form and go. Said, we didn't write our names. I said, from who did we buy from? And I discovered that there's something wrong. I thought I passed, is something else I'm hearing. So I told them, I don't know anybody. I just know that it's a light complexion soldier man. They say, okay, they know the person. So later I got to understand that there was no record that we bought the phone. So that means automatic disqualification. So I know military, they don't mess up with such things. They're strict, follow this pattern of orderliness about each step of the way. So I knew that I can't get this anymore. While at the same time, my university courses were still going on. I still went and wrote another Nigerian Defense Academy exam again with the hope that this time around it's going to work. So I was laxed in the university, 100 level. I was laxed my first year in the university. I was laxed. They attend lectures. I attend lectures. I stay with them, but my mind was not there. My mind was, I'm just going to while away time here. Very soon I'm going to join the army. So the army was not going. And now we are finishing 200 level, and army is not coming, and I'm still looking at the army. Then I discovered that, look, you have to decide. If you want to focus. If you want to just leave the university and focus and write and pass. Then I said to myself, look, how are you sure you are going to get this NDA? If there are other reasons why you are not getting it? When I opened my eyes, my result for the 200 level came. Fail. About second semester, 200 level, I had 10 courses. Out of 10 courses, 5 were automatic fail. And the most important courses are the ones I failed. When I saw my result, I said, since I was born from my primary school, I've never had this kind of bad result. So I have to leave the campus immediately. My father works in Abuja at that time. He worked with the sports council in Abuja. I went to him in Abuja. I told him, there was no cell phone that time, mobile phone. So I went to him, and he was surprised to see me. I told him, I have failed. He said, what do I mean? He said, I want to apologize for you wasting your money to pay my school fees, and I have failed. Please forgive me. I just want to let you so that you don't get disappointed later if I don't tell you now. He said, what happened? I explained to him. I said, 10 courses, 5 is failed. He said, Linus, I know you. Go back to school. Do those courses. Do your best and leave the rest for God. I was so shocked. I thought my father would be disappointed at me. When he spoke, it's like I got a new motivation to go back and forget about ND and focus. So I started carrying over courses. When I'm 300 level, I'm doing 200 courses. And I'm doing 100 2 or 3 or 100 level courses. I'm 400 level, I'm doing 200 level, I'm doing 300 level, so I have to drop some of the 400 level courses. My mates are going to class, me, I'm going to class with my juniors. So it was stressful for me. And I discovered that, look, you have put yourself in a mess. University, there's nothing you can do than to settle down and do what you can do. And your father has given you the motivation. Now go ahead. He's going to pay your school fees. He's going to do everything. Go ahead and do what you can do. So in the university, I settled down to understand what I was doing, and I was beginning to balance. I'm not balancing. And I discovered, look, whatever it is, you have to graduate. So I made up my mind to do what I can do. I had a very poor result because of that. Now, in the school, I was very committed to the fellowship. Actually, before I came to the university, in my secondary school, I was the president of FCS, that's Fellowship of Christian Students. So when I was going to university, one of the teachers said, "Linus, I love your commitment in the secondary school. When you go out of the secondary school, what are you going to do about your relationship with God?" So she told me that as a Catholic, there's charismatic renewal. So I told her I know about the charismatic renewal, but I don't think. She said, "I just forget and join charismatic renewal." I said, "Okay. So many people in the charismatic, I know them personally, so let me go and join." So after, during the holiday, the last holiday before we go back and write exam, I joined the charismatic renewal. Now, when I joined the charismatic renewal, I just flowed because it was like already in line with what I'm already aware of in my secondary school. Because I was the president of FCS, we are prayer warriors, we handle prayers and deliverances, so it was already in line. So I continued with the charismatic renewal. So when I was going to university, I felt, okay, now I'm going to university, I have options to go and join the FCS as usual in my secondary school, or to go and join the Catholic Fellowship. And so I saw that FCS, they always have workers, enough workers. Almost everybody is a worker in FCS. But in Catholic, it's like many people are churchgoers. So I felt, let me go to where they don't have workers. I'll be of more help to the community. So I joined Catholic Fellowship and I became committed. And I took positions in the fellowship I was given, because it's more of an election of leaders than appointment. It's election, and people kept choosing me to be the prayer leader. So I was so good in that aspect, to the best of my knowledge, because the comments tell me I was good. Number two, I was enjoying it. And the only thing I had was, now you are known in the fellowship as a committed brother, as a caring brother. Now, in academics, you are failing because you are carrying over courses. How can you represent God with this kind of contradiction? So I have to open up to some of the fellowship members who know about it. Then at the end of the day, when it's time to graduate, I was told, you're not going to graduate. You have to stay behind and do some other extra courses. So my mates left, so I was left with my juniors, and I did those courses. Now, before, when I was in 400 level, I think we used to have what we call marriage seminar in school. That is the beginning of another chapter of my life. I prayed along as we were taught, because even naturally without being taught, we pray, "Oh God, when it's time for me to marry, give me the good wife." So I think we prayed, all of us prayed, because of the seminar will tell us, pray ahead so that you don't have crisis. So when it's time, God will tell you the right person. I prayed and I forgot about it. When we are in our 500 level, that's our final year in the university, I started having a flash thought on one particular person. This lady, I knew her before I went to the university. And I knew her, everybody knew her to be a serious lady in church. Everybody loved her because of the way she lived her life. She lived decent, she lived well, to the best of my knowledge at that time. So that thought kept flashing, because now that we knew each other before school, now we're in the same university again. In fact, she admission, I did what I could to see that she gained admission in the same university with me, because of the way we knew each other when we were in Kaduna at that time. So I get to know her better in the university. Now it's not about our home, it's about knowing the person separated from parents, knowing the real person. So I came to appreciate her. Then the thoughts kept coming to me, but I was subduing the thoughts. I said, I'm a student, it's not time for such things. Let me focus. And moreover, I'm having problems already in school. So it's not going to be the best. Since I know her house, we're in the same university. If I graduate, I can trace her to her house, I can trace her to the campus. So it's not a problem. One day, the fellowship leader called me and he said, "Linus, are you thinking of marriage?" I said, why should I think of marriage at this time? I'm a student. I shouldn't be thinking of marriage at this time. Then he said, Linus, if you are not thinking about marriage, please start to think now. I said, why? He said he had a dream. And it is the kind of dream that he normally has, that it always comes to pass. I said, what is your dream? He said, he saw me. Okay, he saw her, not me. He saw her getting married to somebody that he couldn't see the face, but he saw her getting married to somebody. So the way the dream came to him, it was like real. And he now prayed after the dream. He said, Lord, this dream is like real to me. In that dream, I saw her getting married. Who is that person? In that dream, he prayed. And he said, the Lord told him that that person is Linus, and that is me. And now he's telling me what the dream he had and what inspired within him and his relationship with God. So I said to him, why should I be thinking of marriage now? I didn't tell him that thought was in my mind. I was keeping it silent. And my own experience was that I actually had also a dream. And in that dream, I saw her. And in that dream, I saw me proposing to her in marriage. The main focus of that dream was that when I spoke to her, she was angry. She said, I've been waiting for you for long to speak. You have not spoken. It's just now that you are speaking. Why? She was kind of angry in the dream. So when I woke up, I said, we are like friends. It's like normal friends. It's like students. We know each other. We know our parents know each other. So it wasn't marriage inspired. It was just normal relationship with any lady, because we attend the same church. We have similar experiences. So we're about the same age group, because I think she's older than me with about 6 months, to be precise. About 6 months she's older than me. So we relate with each other very well. So he said to me, Linus, that's my fellowship leader on campus, said, Linus, don't think that you cannot marry now. Go and speak to her. So I knew in my mind that, one, I didn't tell him my experience. Number two, the way he spoke is like, look, he's concerned. He said, Linus, the way I saw the dream, if you don't speak to her now, whatever I see, I should take. I'm not quoting exact words he used, but that's in that same direction. I spoke to her one of those days in campus, and I called her and I said, I want to speak to you. I discovered that when I spoke to her, she started crying. And when she started crying, I wanted to know why was she crying. And she said I shouldn't worry, that I should just wait. So she cried. When she finished crying, we left the place where we sat to talk. So she said she's going to get back to me. Now, when later I met her, she's not speaking. Later I met her, she said she's not interested, that she see me like a brother. She wasn't seeing me as somebody she could marry. She was seeing like, even though we are not the same parents, we are not the same tribe, so she just saw me. Actually, that's true. Me too, I also saw her as a sister, as a friend, not marriage inspired kind of relationship. So she said she's not seeing me as a husband, she's seeing me as a friend, that she's not thinking that direction. I said, okay, she should pray about it, she should let me go. No. She didn't speak again. Whenever I come, the more I come to talk to her about the issue, the more she becomes aggressive. And I discovered I have to wait. When I waited for some time, she's not speaking. I go, she started insulting in public. And in campus, once you have that record, people will talk. Say, Linus, the quiet boy, is chasing girl. And I feel ashamed that to be broadcast. But along the line, because of our understanding the fellowship, people knew me, knew her, so nobody will go to that length. She told me, pop and clear, that she's not interested. So I dropped the issue. But those who knew the issue, he now came and met me and said, Linus, I told you to speak to her. So he went and spoke to her without telling me. So I said, well, I spoke to her. He said, no, I should have told him. And look at now how I spoiled him. I said, what did I spoil? That she said that. I said, no, there was nothing like that. She started framing stories, and it was easier for people to believe her story than to believe it, because I wasn't saying it with sweet words. I was just saying it plain as it is. But she has a way of convincing people that I wasn't able to beat her level of manipulation to convince people. And I was living normal, but things were no more getting normal. I discovered that everybody that likes me started withdrawing from me. I discovered that only those friends that we knew each other from first year in the university to that last year, that since they know me over time, they can vouch for me. So the situation became out of control when I discovered that it was beginning to reach the school authority. And she started saying things like, I raped her. She wasn't saying it to me. She was saying to people. How I happened to get to know is when side talk. And I don't believe the side talk, but her actions is confirming the side talk I'm hearing. What I'm hearing in the side talk, she will speak to me directly. I will deal with you. I said, this is the person I knew. When did she switch to somebody who wants to deal with me? So I started withdrawing gradually. Then I went back to God in prayers. That was my habit at that time. Don't blame me. That's how it happened to grow in the Lord over time. I said, God, I believe I didn't take this step out of selfish interest. I believe it was a sincere desire to get married. I felt you led me into this, but why is it not working? Did I make a wrong decision? If I have taken the right decision, tell me, give me a confirmation that I'm doing the right thing. So the Lord spoke to me in clear words, and it's difficult to explain to people how the Lord speaks to me, but He spoke to me in clear words that, my friend, I'm from Kaduna State. She has been born in Kaduna. She grew up in Kaduna, but she's from Anambra State. So whatever Kaduna person can do, she can do. The Lord told me that she is from Anambra State. Up to that point in time, I did not know that she was from Anambra State, and I've been relating with her without ever asking her. The Lord told me that she is from Anambra State because her father is from Anambra State, and I think her mother also is from Anambra State. That she is from Anambra State. That He is going to take me to the National Youth Service Corps, to Anambra State, as a confirmation that He is the one speaking. Now, National Youth Service Corps is for graduates in Nigeria who, at that time, you must be under 30 years. 30 years or under. If you are above 30 years, you are not going. But that age limit has been changing from one age to another. But during my own time, because I've already spilled over, as a spillover student, I was with them. My mates have gone. I was with them. So I have to face whatever I need to face with my juniors. So the Lord spoke to me. He said, before I spill over, the Lord spoke to me and said, I'm going to take you to Anambra State to do your youth service. So I went back to her. She was uncomfortable with me being around her, but I went back to her. I said, where are you from? Which state of Nigeria are you from? She said, Anambra State. I said, wow, are you sure? She said, why am I asking? I said, no, I just wanted to know. I said, I didn't know this before. I'm just knowing, and it's confirming what the Lord has told me, that she's from Anambra State. So, youth service, let's see what will happen. When it was getting to time to go to the university, said, no, you're not going anywhere. You are spilling over. Spilling over means I'll stay behind when my mates have gone to write some other courses. So I said, Lord, but you told me I'm going to NYSC Anambra State. Now I'm spilling over. I said, okay, let me wait and see. While I was spilling over, I was to do a first semester course only. Second semester, I don't have any course. So I came and did the first semester. I was to do second semester course. Then first semester, I don't have a course. So second semester, I came to do the course. I was told that one of the courses that I was supposed to do in second semester had been shifted to first semester, that I missed it, that I have to write it next session. So like I'm spilling over again. I begged, I said, no, it's your fault. You should have confirmed everything before you go. You went and sat down and you expect people to be giving you information. So I have to stay another year. So when my mates were going for their NYC, my name was in the list. My name was in the list. I went to check the list. I saw my name, LINUS Tachio, Anambra State. So, this is exactly what the Lord told me. But now I'm not going. How can I put the pieces together? So it was confusing. My friends, so I told them, I said, look, I think I wrote it on a paper and I gave my friend, I said, keep this paper for me. I want to test something. I wrote him, I'm going for NYC. I'm going to NYC, Anambra State. And you don't choose. Some people manipulate their way and get what they want. Now, you don't choose. Most of the time, even if you manipulate, you don't get what you want. So I wrote it and I gave my friend, I said, this is what the Lord is telling me. So when the names came out, when he saw what I wrote was exactly what was on board, he said, Linus, this must be God. So then he said, be patient. And naturally, that will be what will happen to me. So I was patient. I said, she is saying no. And I have enough confirmation that God is speaking to me, go ahead. And I happen to know her. So why not? But the thing became complicated. She started creating stories, and my life became more and more difficult.